guys! It's almost here. The big daily comic project starts in 2 days. So I wanted to run through the specifics of this project and how, in general, I prep for a project like this. So this type of project is considered a long-term project to me. It can be a month, it can be a year, it can be more than a year, it can be indefinite. It's completely up to you. These rules and tips can be applied to anything lasting longer than a week, basically. So before I start a project like this, I decide what my end goal is. This goal can be super specific, but it doesn't need to be, because there are some projects that I do that are just improvement based. So a super specific goal is I want to complete a graphic novel by the end of the year. And a non-specific goal is I want to be better at comics at the end of the year. See the difference? This project that I'm doing is a non-specific end goal. I'm doing something every day, and then at the end of it, just seeing what comes out of it and seeing what I improve at. After you decide what your end goal is, the next thing you need to do is decide what your daily goal is. And it doesn't matter if you want to do something every day or every other day or once a week. It doesn't matter. But you need to decide that when you sit down to work on it, what does that look like? What does done look like for this? So for this project, I need to create a comic every single day. The comic has to be a journal comic. That is, it has to be about my life or things that I've noticed or things that have happened to me, and not a fiction story. This rule is 100% just for me. This is to kind of take the pressure off. Decide ahead of time what your topic is. The second rule for this is that it has to be finished in ink. And this is, again, a personal preference for me. In my opinion, a comic isn't done until it's inked. So I'm doing it every day. It has to be a journal comic, and it has to be finished in ink. So that is what done looks like to me. All right, after you've decided what your end goal is and what your daily goal is, you need to prep. So for this project, prepping means that I needed to get a sketchbook and I needed to set aside a space for every single day of the year. All right? So I bought a sketchbook. It's got 100 pages in it, which means that to create enough space for the entire year, I needed to separate out the pages. This wasn't too difficult. I just drew a line halfway through. All right? The next thing I did was that I went through and I dated every single day. So November 28th, 2016 is going to be the 181st day of this project, and it's going to go right here. Another thing that's specific to this project is I needed to set aside a notebook. Because I'm doing a journal comic and I've decided to do it at the end of the day to make it easier, I should set aside a notebook where I write down notes of things that are happening at that day. That way, at the end of the day, I don't have to try and remember everything that happened. I can go through and see the stuff that I thought was noteworthy at the time, and then make my decision. The main overall rule for all of these things, all of these tips, all of these rules, is to make it as easy as possible for you to complete the end goal. All right? If you haven't decided what type of topic you should do, you might spend way too much time trying to decide that, and maybe you don't get a comic out that day. If you haven't decided what finished looks like, maybe at the end of the year you're wishing you had worked a little bit harder. If you do not set aside a sketchbook, you are going to find that you're spending a lot of time collecting all of your previous days, and at the end of it you want to be able to look at your progress, so you want to be able to see it all in one spot. If you do not have a notebook set aside to write down notes for the day, you might spend a lot of time trying to figure out what happened that day. Maybe it was really busy, maybe it was really boring and you feel like nothing happened. All of this stuff is to make it so that finishing this project is the easiest thing in the world for you to do. Okay, that's it. I hope this helped. I hope that maybe you can adapt these types of rules to something that you're trying to finish. That's all I got. I'll see you guys next week.